The outgoing Prime Minister of Burundi, Alain Guillaume Bunyoni, welcomes his successor, appointed by the president who gave no reasons for Bunyoni's dismissal, but last week he had warned of a coup plot against his regime.
Nous de procéder avec le nouveau Premier ministre.
We had just had the handover and resumption with the new Prime Minister, where we first built on the major issues which are related to policy planning and implementation. Security Minister Gervais Ndirakobuca was sworn in before Parliament as new Premier, capping a day of high drama in the troubled Central African nation. The fate of Bunyoni, a former police chief and security minister, who has long been a senior figure in the ruling party, was not immediately known. My ministers and I are committed to doing everything we can to ensure that the Burundian people, according to the program of His Excellency the President, can be freely served, that every mouth is fed and every pocket is provided with money. Dominica is among a number of Burundian officials accused of stoking violence against government opponents in a wave of deadly unrest in 2015 and remains under EU sanctions.
World reactions continue to pour in following the passing of British Queen Elisabeth II. On Thursday, the Jamaican PM announced the national flag would be flown at half-mast on public buildings as a tribute to the former monarch who served as the head of state to the island. For many, however, it was life as usual.
I think it's unfortunate. She lived for a very long time, which I guess speaks volumes to how the royal family is treated in the UK. But really, I don't really care about the Queen there.
Further east in Barbados, which left the Commonwealth realm in November, there was acknowledgement for the Queen's legacy, which includes the monarchy's brutal colonial past.
She did encourage, promote, and basically stand for a lot of hateful and bad, terrible things. But however, she has been there for so long and has been like this symbol of power, and it has been this way for so long, so it feels very weird, especially given the times we have experienced so much in these last few years.
The death of the Queen comes at a time when calls to cut ties with the monarchy are growing across the Caribbean. Local officials said dozens of civilians were killed this week in Talatai, a town located in northeastern Mali. The locality, which sits at crossroads of influence for rival terrorist groups, was allegedly attacked by EIGS fighters who have ties with the Islamic State organization. The exact death toll remains unknown. Indeed, only partial reports from different local sources shed light on the humanitarian tragedy occurring in the Sahelian town cut off from communication networks. Militants from the EIGS group, the Al-Qaeda-affiliated group JNIM, and other armed organizations, including the Tuareg-dominated Movement for the Salvation of Azawad, have allegedly been fighting since Tuesday. If confirmed, this could be the first time that Talatai suffers such a large-scale attack by the Islamic State in the Great Sahara Group. Mali's government confirmed Tuesday an air offensive. The army's head of communications was quoted by the AFP when speaking to local media Friday. Colonel Suleiman Dembele slammed reports that Talatai was besieged by an ISIS-affiliated group.
A new mobile phone designed and assembled in Ivory Coast is helping illiterate users to overcome difficulties. Thanks to a voice control system, users can now access information in 50 African languages. It's a phone that can easily be adapted for us, and it's a phone which will be of great help to one of my parents who cannot read. It is now possible for a parent to have a letter in front of him or her, take a picture of it, and for it to have it read back in his or her native language, and I really liked that part. The smartphone uses an operating system unique to the Circle company and covers 17 languages spoken in Ivory Coast. The founder of the company claims this is a response to the increasing levels of frustration felt by illiterate users. We have a large portion of the population that is illiterate, and so if we bring a computer or a phone as it existed before, our parents must be able to read first and then write in order to communicate. I gave my father his first phone 15 years ago. He was very happy, but also very embarrassed to use it, because every time he has to ask someone to help him dial a number. When he gets a message, he needs help reading it. The company hopes to incorporate 1,000 African languages and reach almost 1 billion people. Speaking is 3 times faster than writing, so when I speak instead of writing, on one hand it's fast, which makes life easier, but on the other hand we have an engine which allows you to interpret what you said to provide an appropriate and adapted answer to what you expect. We have done a lot of work on African languages, so it allows our parents who are not literate to directly use their phone in their language. In exchange for government tax breaks, Serco is to pay 3.5% of its income to the state and train around 1,200 young people a year. A leading opposition figure in Chad has been summoned for questioning following clashes last week. Successor Masra is the president of a Chadian party called the Transformers, the most radical component of an opposition coalition that is boycotting a forum launched by Chad's military ruler, General Mahamat Idriss Déby Itno. It is in the name of justice and equality that we are here standing in the rain this morning. It's to go and listen to what they're going to say to us, but we're not vindictive. It's not to avenge. Our revenge is the national anthem and the march. That's all, no scuffles. Supporters of Successor Masra gathered in the capital Jamena before the police fired tear gas to disperse them. The opposition activist asked his supporters to avoid confrontation with the authorities. You have stood up today to help me carry a kind of cross of justice and equality, so I'm going to ask you to be disciplined, not to boil over. General Mahamat Idriss Déby Itno replaced his father in April 21 after he was killed in an operation fighting rebels. Déby promised free and democratic elections within 18 months.